What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Gouf Crimson Custom from Gundam Breaker Battlogue. The Gouf that is 3 times as dissimilar to Izaku as the original Gouf Custom, it serves as one of the 4 kings of Barbataurus as the obligatory Char clone. Just like the rest of the color variants, the Crimson Gouf comes with all the runners of the original Gouf Custom, alongside a runner of new parts, a wire, and a minuscule sticker sheet. Now, I have built a Gouf before, that being the R35, but that was years ago at this point, so this build does serve as a refresher to me, but to you guys, it's the same build as the Gouf Custom from 2010. Though it doesn't hurt to say that essentially everything on the kit can easily mark from careless cutting, especially with the 2010 engineering, and that the overall build doesn't really stick out too badly to me as dated, except for the construction of the limbs. But before I move on to the main review, I would like to address the additions of this kit, and that is in the form of 4 adapters that allow reverse compatibility between the Gouf's torso, waist, and backpack, and conventional high-grade kits, just like the parts of the Gundam Barbataurus. While I don't have enough Goufs to tell you how wide the uses of these adapters extend, the results are certainly goofy for some kits to try to bash it with. The example build from the instructions though, that is one that looks sick. Otherwise, the body of the Gouf uses no new parts, so there are no leftovers to mention. Straight assembly complete, and all I can say about this Gouf is that it looks as hot as the Carolina Reaper chili pepper. While I do like this twist on the Gouf, especially because of blue versus red, the red just feels overpowering to look at, and making it hard to distinguish between the crimson red, burnt red, clear orange on the torso, and the pink mono-eye sticker. The only distinguishable thing being the machine gun on the arm with the pink scope sticker. While the color scheme is good on paper, I would highly recommend brown panel lining and a dash of matte top coat, if not a full paint job, to subdue the colors and bring out all the detail. As well as seam line cleanup for the shoulder pads and the legs, because they are quite out there, especially because of the bright red. Otherwise, as previously mentioned, this kit became flustered from traveling 12 years forward, so the parts and engineering are identical to the original Gouf Custom, and Bandai has already done a damn good job translating the design to a kit back in the day, so there's not much to criticize for this 13cm tall kit, but like I said before, give it a matte finish if the colors are too strong on your eyes. For articulation, the head is on a double ball joint, but range of movement is rather limited. The mono-eye is as usual mobile with the tab underneath, but the eye module on mine is tight enough to break the tab when I try to move it, so look out for that. The arms can swing out, roll, and rotate in their sockets. Shoulder armor is on a hinge to get out of the way of the perpendicular arm raise. There is a bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, and ball jointed wrists. Waist crunches and rotation are non-existent because of the piping, and the same thing goes for the skirt movement. The legs can swivel laterally and perform decent front and side splits despite the limited skirt movement. There is a thigh swivel, 90-degree double jointed knees, multi-jointed feet with an alright range of movement, and flip-flop action. Altogether, you can really feel the age of the Gouf Custom mold with this articulation. It's scratching the bare minimum at best, but at least it holds itself together really well, so posing would not be a hassle. But in some parts, it holds itself together too well. In terms of hands, there are a pair of holding hands, fists, and a right open hand, with enough hand covers for them all. As for weapons, the machine gun and heat wire are equipped onto the body by default, the former featuring a movable thumb scope and pinky, while the latter features a swappable wire attached to an open grappler. Both of the weapons look neat and they function as intended with no issues whatsoever. The rest of the weapons are stored in the Gatling shield. The shield portion attaches onto the arm-mounted machine gun, while the Gatling gun slides onto the shield after with an attached manipulator. It is a heavy weapon, but the Crimson Gouf has 3 times the strength of the normal Gouf Custom, so it's no big deal. And thank God it's only a model kit, as you will feel the impulse to run when you are pointed at with this thing. Finally, the heat sword is stored in the shield. It offers the standard sword functionality in the holding hand, and the blade can be easily painted if you want to display it in the heated state. However, it is stored rather loosely out of the box, so you might want to topcoat the sword to fix the issue. In conclusion, the high-grade Gouf Crimson Custom is recommended, partially thanks to the somewhat goofy universal adapters. While the build can feel a bit dated, on top of the movable mono-eye being a bit unreliable and that the articulation being undeniably limited, this is still a fun kit to mess around with, especially because of that well-executed Gatling shield. And because of that unique shield, this kit has the edge across all 4 of the color variants. On top of that, the aesthetics are well translated and it never fails to look menacing and intimidating on the shelf. Most importantly, it is solid to handle, so posing it would not be an absolute nightmare. Overall, the Gouf Crimson Custom is definitely one I'd recommend you prioritize if you want to collect the Battlogue color variants, or you can go for the Gouf Custom as well if you prefer the blue. But unfortunately, it's definitely not for those looking for kits made from the ground up. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and feel free to follow me on social media with the links down below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.